Now at 9, Pittsburgh's political landscape shifts as the commission installs new leaders to run the city. Plus, Parsons, Kansas enters the nuclear age as Deep Fission launches construction on cutting-edge underground reactor technology. And Toy Box Tuesday Telethon generates thousands in donations for kids in need this Christmas.
The 4 states' most watched news starts now.
The city of Pittsburgh gets new leadership tonight as commissioners swear in and select a mayor who will guide the city's future. This is KOAM News. I'm Tanya Bach. Tonight was the reorganization of the Board of Commissioners with 2 re-elected and 1 newly elected commissioner, as well as a new mayor, Chuck Munsell, taking the seat. Now, one of their first orders of business was to vote on the approval to accept the grant agreement for the Emergency Solutions Grant of almost $100,000 to support the homeless services in the community.
Money will help those that are experiencing homelessness with some rental assistance, application fees, utility fees. It'll also help those that are maybe facing eviction. We would be able to help with some past due rent, along with some rent moving forward, along with some utility assistance as well.
Commissioners approved the grant agreement, which allows the Kansas Housing Resources Corporation to release those funds toward homeless services in Pittsburgh. Well, Jolly Fox is no more as it closed back in June, but the building is currently under contract to be sold to Guadalajara. It also still has a balance that needs to be paid back to the city of Pittsburgh, and tonight commissioners approved the new payment agreement. The original loan was $200,000 of taxpayer money. Councilmember Cheryl Brooks brought up many missed payments during COVID, and others also shared concerns that it was taxpayer loan money that needed to be paid back. Fast forward nearly 6 years, balance is now around $168,000. A new energy project in Parsons, Kansas is drawing wide attention, not just for its size, but for how it's being built. KOAM's Blake Gully is here with more details on the technology behind Deep Fission's pilot reactor and what comes next.
This project introduces a completely new way of building nuclear reactors, and the groundbreaking gave us our first look at what that process could involve.
Instead of putting the reactor above ground where there is possible could get into the environment, it could impact people, you put it a mile underground where you're surrounded by billions of tons of rock and a mile of water, a column of water a mile long. We think that this is the safest, the best possible place that you can put a nuclear reactor.
The project is part of a new Department of Energy initiative designed to accelerate advanced nuclear technology. The ceremony kicks off a fast construction timeline aiming to complete construction by July 2026, pending federal approval.
They see nuclear power as an important national security issue because of AI, and we need to win. We need to be able to have more power in order to power AI, and that's the national security issue. The pilot program is designed in order to get at least 3 reactors up and running.
While questions remain about the long-term vision, Parsons Mayor Verlin Bollinger says the project could bring needed investment and workforce opportunities to the community.
Good paying jobs is what we need in Parsons. We've got a lot of industry here, but if we could see more industry, it'll bring people to Parsons, because I'm sure the people that they need for this project's probably not in Parsons, because this is brand new. So we've got some housing developments we've been working on, and I think this will be a good fit for that.
Deep Fission hopes the groundbreaking marks the start of a long-term energy partnership in southeast Kansas, with the potential to reshape both the region's workforce and its role in the nation's power grid. Blake Gully, KOAM News.
Well, the technology is still new, and experts say more research is needed before underground reactors become widespread. Well, meteorologist Austin Stantz joins us now with a first look at weather.
Yeah, good evening, everybody. It is I would say mild, maybe even gorgeous at this point with how cool we've seen it in the past. Take a look at these current temperatures. 52 degrees still out there. So I'm going to go on a limb and say it's still a gorgeous evening, since just a couple weeks ago we were seeing 20 degrees at this time. So it feels like 52 out there as well. So we're not dealing with wind chills like we have in the past either. So just a comfortable evening out there tonight. Temperatures are going to drop as we head into the overnight hours tonight. Our low temperature, actually that is not updated. It's going to be 42 degrees. So that is something to keep in mind. Our normal low for this time of year, right around 30. So we're going to be about 12 degrees above average tonight. Now, some breezy conditions are going to blow in as we head into the overnight and then into your Wednesday, but temperatures are back on the rise on Thursday, and I'm tracking a cooler weekend. All those details are coming up.
All right, thanks, Austin. Today, KOAM hosted the second of 3 Toy Box Tuesday telethons, an easy opportunity for you to call in and let us do the shopping for you. Thanks to your generosity, we raised more than $3,500 today, helping to make Christmas a little brighter for area kids. For the 4th year in a row, volunteers from Miss Daisy's man the phones.
The feeling that we all get and my team gets, like, you know, seeing the toys brought into the store is a big deal. And I mean, who doesn't love going shopping for toys for someone? So, especially kids that need them.
You can still make a donation by visiting our website, koamnewsnow.com/toybox, or call in next Tuesday during our noon, 5 and 6 o'clock newscast for our final Toy Box telethon. Well, this year, Kimberly Burnett of Joplin wasn't sure she could give her family the Christmas they wanted. After her 2 youngest children needed an extended stay in the NICU before they were born, she and her husband have been in and out of work while they tended to them, putting financial stress on the family. And thanks to KOAM's Toy Box campaign, each child will receive a gift.
8-year-old, she's really into science, so we have tried getting her some science kits. And then my 2-year-old, she plays mama with her babies, so anything babies, baby accessories, anything like that. And then him, we got a couple of sensory toy playing mats and sensory toys.
Well, Kimberly is encouraging everyone to donate to the Toy Box campaign. Well, coming up, a boat strike controversy.
Secretaries Hegseth and Rubio on Capitol Hill as the administration faces growing concern over its controversial boat strikes in the Caribbean. I'm Connor Hansen in New York. I'll have the details coming up.
But up first, erasing the past gets easier as advanced laser technology helps more people remove unwanted tattoos. The concept that tattoos are forever is taking a turn as more and more people with ink start considering tattoo removal. Fox News' Sue Guzman takes a closer look at the advancements making the process more accessible and some of the potential risk.
With the new year approaching, many people are starting to make their list of resolutions. And with a number of folks pursuing tattoo removal on the rise, some people's goals might be to get rid of old ink.
They might have got that tattoo when they were like young. Maybe they were like 16, 17, and now they're like 30 or 40, and they're like, this doesn't jive with me anymore. So they're like, I want to get this off.
Advancements in technology are helping make tattoo removal more accessible, with many professionals using something called a quality switching laser. The laser gives off concentrated bursts of light energy to break up the ink into small particles. Those small particles are then absorbed by the body and eventually released as waste.
I think just right now, as I'm getting older, I just want my natural looking skin back.
Tracy Herman has 8 tattoos and is getting 4 removed, but the process can sting.
It definitely feels like a rubber band, hot rubber band hitting you, or grease from a frying pan. Those are the 2 ways I explain that to a lot of people. It doesn't feel great.
The stress balls really help because at the time it is pretty intense. It's like a bee sting.
Multiple sessions are also needed to remove ink, depending on factors like the size, depth, and color of the tattoo. Sessions are also typically spaced months apart for time to heal.
So I tell everyone that we start off at $100 shop minimum, and that's where I stay at.
Meanwhile, the Food and Drug Administration lists several risks associated with tattoo removal, including temporary scarring, redness, infection, and more, meaning proper consultation is key. Sue Guzman, Fox News.
Well, new research suggests patients still trust doctors more than artificial intelligence. A study by the University of Southern California and Baruch College in New York found 17% of people said they trust AI as much as a human to diagnose health problems. But the study also found most people see the technologies that use AI to help diagnose cancer as promising. School reopenings following COVID-19 lockdowns led to an improvement in children's mental health. Researchers from Harvard T.H. Chan School of Public Health looked at data from schools across California from March of 2020 and June of 2021. They found there were fewer diagnoses of depression, anxiety, and ADHD when schools reopened, and the longer schools stayed open after the shutdown, the fewer mental health conditions were diagnosed. Austin is next with a complete look at your forecast, and later at Capitol Hill, hearings reveal an alarming rise in child exploitation cases across social media.
Now, today was definitely a mild Tuesday out there for sure. We saw temperatures in the mid to upper 50s. Let's get a look at your Skywatch storm tracker right now. The changes that we're seeing in your forecast, while they are minor, they're still changes nonetheless. We notice here we're starting to see the system push southeast here, and it's a cold front right here. It's a weak cold front, but it's still pushing in, and we're seeing some cloud cover begin to move into the area due to that, some precipitation beginning to develop into northwestern Missouri there. Is that going to affect us? We'll talk about that in just a second. Let's start out with our Cornell Arts and Entertainment Complex camera here in downtown Joplin. Here's what you notice. Take a look at these flagpoles here. They are blowing out there. So as that cold front pushes in, we are seeing those winds begin to pick up this evening. Now, it's still a fairly nice evening out there tonight, but as we take a look at your future track, here we are at midnight. Temperatures are still upper 40s this evening. Cloud cover starts to move into the area. Winds still out of the south right now, so that's going to keep our temperatures relatively mild as we head through the overnight. But there you go, seeing a little bit of precipitation starting to develop between midnight, 2 a.m. there. Now, we're not expecting any rain showers, just maybe a few sprinkles out there, especially off to the northeast and then eastern counties here. So if you're north of 44 or east of 49, you may see a brief shower right in here, Lamar, Nevada, Stockton, possibly just a sprinkle or two. Overnight tonight, temperatures 42 degrees. We'll see some gusty winds start to pick up anywhere from 10 to 15 miles per hour, gusting upwards of around 25. Let's talk about those winds. So here we are at 11, winds out of the south around gusting upwards of 20 to 25 miles per hour. The change comes in as we head into tomorrow. Take a look at that. Those winds now out of the northwest, and take a look at these gusts, 34, 36 miles per hour in Iola, 32 Joplin. So even breezier conditions to start your Wednesday morning. The good news is by Wednesday early evening, while winds still are out of the north here, it's going to be slightly cooler, but winds calm down by the evening hours right around 5 o'clock. So tomorrow, we can expect temperatures right around 50 degrees for your Wednesday, just slightly cooler, but still slightly above average. Those winds gusting anywhere from 25 to 30 miles per hour there. Into your Thursday, here we take a look. It's going to be another great day. The winds come back out of the south, bringing those temperatures back up again for us. And we're going to see temperatures in the upper 50s, 57 Joplin by 4 o'clock there. Same for Miami and Pittsburgh. Could even break into the 60s if we see enough sunshine. Now we have a nice ridge here. What this ridge is doing is actually containing the system off to the east, not allowing it to dig deeper into our region, bringing in some of that cooler air. That's going to stay off to the east due to this ridge here is why we're seeing such mild temperatures in the region right now. Let's get a look at your 10-day forecast. Take a look at this. So 58 Thursday, could break into the 60s. 46 on Friday, we head down a little bit. Saturday night, we get a cold front that comes in, dropping our temperatures down to 38 degrees for your Sunday. But Saturday night, though, 19 degrees. It's going to be a chilly night. But they recover. Next week, we're back into the 50s.
That's good. I mean, tomorrow's going to be a great day if we didn't have the wind.
It'll be windy, but it'll still be slightly enjoyable. There'll be sunshine out there.
Okay, well, we'll try to enjoy it. All right, thanks, Austin. Well, coming up a little later, touting his affordability agenda.
President Trump kicks off an economic tour tonight to speak directly to voters who think he hasn't done enough to tackle high prices. I'm Rebecca Castor with the details coming up.
Lawmakers on Capitol Hill continue to focus on how to keep kids safe online. Last week, the House targeted big tech's role, and this week, the Senate zeroed in on online sextortion. Fox's Ryan Schmelz has the story.
talk to your children about sextortion.
Protecting kids from online predators, the focus of a bipartisan hearing on Capitol Hill Tuesday. Members of the Senate Judiciary Committee getting a first-hand account of how one teen took his own life after being harassed for more than 19 hours by a female predator.
She groomed him. Then she asked if he wanted to see her unclothed and exposed herself. She asked him to do the same. And like any innocent 17-year-old boy who liked a girl and saw no danger, he did.
It's a scenario the National Center for Missing and Exploited Children says is becoming more common.
These offenders lure children into online relationships, then terrorize them with rapid-fire threats. Reports of these brutal victimizations grew by 200% last year and continue rising.
Testimony led one lawmaker to question if these predators should be considered domestic terrorists.
Y'all both just told us that they're trying to bring down society by harming our children and exploiting them. Why shouldn't they be domestic terrorists?
The hearing comes as Congress ramps up its oversight of big tech and its role in keeping children safe. Lawmakers on both sides of the aisle agreeing more needs to be done outside of hearings.
We make great speeches here. We sometimes enact great laws in the committee. But when it comes to taking them to the floor, to enact them on the floor and eventually send them over to the House, we drop the ball completely.
Ahead of the hearing, Senators Dick Durbin and Chuck Grassley introduced a bipartisan package of 3 bills to address this issue. It targets weak sentencing laws, online criminal networks, and child sextortion. In Washington, Ryan Schmelz, Fox News.
SpaceX launches a secret payload for the U.S. military today. The Falcon 9 rocket took off from Cape Canaveral for the National Reconnaissance Office. Secretive spy satellite agency is keeping the payload and its mission details classified. This marks SpaceX's second in-a-row mission since winning the contract in 2020. Well, coming up next, local businesses join forces to bring Christmas joy to children in need this holiday season. It takes a small army to pull off our Toy Box campaign every year. To our volunteers, we can't thank you enough. And one particular group of volunteers from Bishop and Hayes recently embarked on a shopping spree to get some of those toys. KOAM's Ty Parks tagged along for the festive ride.
Well, at Bishop and Hayes, we love to support the local community, and we have found that the KOM Toy Box is a great way to do that. We love to be a part of making Christmas a better experience for kids in our area. Personally, gives me joy to buy gifts for kids. I had 4 kids myself, and I remember the joy that they would experience on Christmas morning. Of course, although I'm older, I still remember the Christmas mornings when I was little, and there's nothing more exciting than kind of getting up and opening a new gift and getting to spend the day playing with it. For me, is a celebration of my Lord and Savior Jesus Christ, his birth, and then I love the fact that I get to spend time with family, and we get to spend time just thinking about this last year and things that happened and ways that we were blessed, and maybe tough things that happened too, and we kind of get to sit around and think about the next year. Donating to Toy Box, I would say this. The amazing thing that KOM does is they keep the toys in the local area. And so any gift you give to KOM to support the Toy Box campaign, you know that money's going to be used to benefit children in our area. KOM Toy Box!
Well, thanks again to Bishop and Hayes and all of our partners for everything they do for the Toy Box Toy Drive. 30 more minutes of news, weather, and sports coming your way. The president pushes back on critics as the feds prepare another interest rate decision. In Missouri, voters deliver 300,000 signatures to challenge redistricting maps at the ballot box.
You're watching the 4 states' most watched news.
This is KOAM News at 9 on Fox 14. I'm Tanya Bach. President Trump is kicking off an economic tour. As many polls show Americans feel negatively about the economy. He's hoping to show voters his administration is working to address their money concerns. Fox News correspondent Rebecca Castor has more on what we can expect.
My agenda is affordability
and how we can ensure deeper levels of affordability.
The president has been lying about affordability, has been lying about the impact of his policies.
Affordability is the new buzzword Democrats are using to keep voters laser focused on the economy. But President Trump is pushing back on claims his policies aren't working.
I inherited a total mess.
Prices were at an all-time high. When I came in, prices are coming down substantially.
Tonight, the president is taking his economic message on the road to swing state Pennsylvania to make sure voters know what he's doing to bring costs down.
Everything from gasoline to groceries, and the president's doing every day. He is impressing upon us the need to keep pushing forward.
Trump has also worked to lower prescription drug prices, declared no taxes on tips and overtime, and pressed the Federal Reserve to lower interest rates. But Democrats point out home prices in health care are still unaffordable for most.
Tonight, Donald Trump will throw a barrel of hay into the audience and tell them it's spun gold. But the American people know he's lying, because everywhere they look, prices are going up and up.
One thing that would help many Americans, another interest rate cut, which is expected to come Wednesday when the Federal Reserve wraps up its final meeting of 2025. In Washington, Rebecca Castor, Fox News.
Opponents of Missouri's new redistricting map, which was backed by President Donald Trump ahead of the midterm elections, are pushing to get the issue on the ballot for voters. Organizers of the petition for a statewide referendum delivered boxes, what they said were more than 300,000 signatures, to the Missouri Secretary of State's office.
Today, Missourians are exercising their constitutional right to a referendum against the House Bill 1, the gerrymander passed by our legislature this last September. We are turning in over 305,000 signatures gathered by over 2,000 volunteers from every single county in the state of Missouri. We are doing this because democracy belongs to the people of Missouri and should be focused on the people's voices and not what politicians want.
Missouri's Republican Secretary of State argued a referendum is unconstitutional. Those petition signatures must be formally verified by the Secretary of State and local election authorities. Well, the debate over a controversial boat strike is heating up, with top administration officials briefing lawmakers today. Fox News correspondent Connor Hansen reports.
Behind closed doors on Capitol Hill, Pentagon Chief Pete Hegseth, Chairman of the Joint Chiefs General Dan Kane, and Secretary of State Marco Rubio briefed top congressional leaders on those deadly military strikes on suspected drug boats.
What the hell is going on in the Caribbean and in Venezuela? What are their plans? How far do they plan to go?
In September, the Trump administration released this footage of a strike on a boat it says was driven by narco-terrorists. But after the revelation that a second strike finished off 2 survivors, it's unclear if the president or the Pentagon want the rest of the video released.
Whatever they have, we'd certainly release, no problem. I didn't say that. I saw the video. They were trying to turn the boat back to where it could float. And we didn't want to see that because that boat was loaded up with drugs just like everything else.
President Trump now says he will leave it up to Hegseth whether to release it or not. Select members of Congress have already seen the video in a classified briefing. While some say it vindicated the Pentagon, others are calling for a wider release.
I would predict this evidence will shock the conscience of America. It will shock America's conscience if it becomes public.
Just let people see it. Everybody can make their own decision.
Lawmakers added a provision to their defense spending bill that would limit Hegseth's travel budget if he does not provide that footage to Congress. In New York, Connor Hansen, Fox News.
Austin is next with a complete look at your forecast. And later, your favorite team's performance affects more than your mood, how it can impact your wallet, too.
Hi, Travis.
Temperatures today were above average. We saw near 60 degrees today. The high temperature was 59. Now, there are some minor changes taking effect right now. Let's take a look at your Skywatch storm tracker. So you notice some cloud cover started to move into the region, some precipitation starting to develop in northwestern Missouri. Let's talk about how that might affect us. Well, first and foremost, we have a ridge off to the west, bringing in some warm air with some southerly flow winds. Here's our 24-hour temperature change from yesterday, anywhere from around 12 to 17 degrees warmer at this point than we were yesterday. So definitely a mild evening out there for sure. So if you are out there, here's a look at our Indigo Sky Casino and Resort camera. It is a gorgeous evening tonight and really going to stay that way. Temperatures staying above average as we head into the overnight hours. By midnight, temperatures still around 48 degrees here in Joplin, 46 in Lamar, Independence. You're at 47 degrees there. Now, as we head into the overnight hours, there might be just enough moisture within some of this cloud cover to give a sprinkle off to our northeastern communities here. Not expecting rainfall, but a brief sprinkle can't be completely ruled out, but 90% of us staying dry tonight. Overnight, 42 degrees, mostly cloudy skies as that cloud cover begins to move in. Those wind gusts begin to pick up as we head into tomorrow. Let's talk about that. Here we are tonight, wind gusts anywhere from about 15 to 25 miles per hour. As we head into your Wednesday, though, winds shift out of the northwest, bringing in some slightly cooler air as that cold front pushes in. And we'll also start to see these wind gusts pick up anywhere from 30 to 35 miles per hour, 36 there in Yates Center. So it's going to be a little bit windier for tomorrow to start your day through the afternoon. But then in the early evening, things calm down. Wind still out of the northwest, but wind gusts only reaching about 10 miles per hour. Things becoming calm as we head into Wednesday night. For your Wednesday, 50 degrees, just slightly cooler out there, but some sunshine, but definitely hold on to your hat tomorrow as we're going to see some gusty winds out there. For your Thursday, though, winds shift back out of the south. That's great news for us because temperatures are back on the rise as that mercury increases out there. And then 57 degrees in Joplin by 4 o'clock. I'm convinced we could break into the 60s if we see enough sunshine for your Thursday. So we're expecting temperatures in the upper 50s for Thursday. Now that again is because we have this ridge off to the west. Now usually when you have a ridge here, you're expected to have a trough off to your east here. Now, but because this ridge is amplified, it's actually holding off those cooler temperatures off to the east. They're not allowing them to dig deeper into our region, which is great news for us. Next chance to possibly see some rainfall, not going to be until Saturday, maybe a brief shower very far south there, but then rain holds off until we head into next week. And we will see cooler temperatures, though. Saturday night dropping down into the teens, 38 for your Sunday, but temperatures recover really well heading into next week, back into the 50s.
All right, well, a lot of changes are headed our way, but at least it's going to be nice and warm tomorrow.
It's going to be nice and warm. Just hold on to your hat.
I remember when I used to say nice and warm was like in the 80s and 90s. Now I'm saying it when it's in the 50s.
Yeah, well, I mean, 12 degrees above average, still pretty good.
Yeah, that's true. All right, thanks, Austin. Well, still ahead, the Chiefs may have lost on Sunday night, but one young player stepped up when needed most. That story next. Plus, the highlights from a cross-state basketball doubleheader between Pittsburgh and Webb City. Sports director Ryan Blank has those stories and more up next in sports.
For your next job, visit more.
The high school basketball season is in full swing, and on Tuesday, we had a cross-state battle between the Purple Dragons of Pittsburgh and the Webb City Cardinals. The Cardinals and Dragons girls squad facing off in the opener. First quarter, it's Whitley Keith in transition for Webb City, looking down court and finding Abby Sargent, who scores the easy layup. Later in the quarter, Sargent will repay the favor, getting her own rebound and connecting with Keith, who shot fakes and sidesteps for an open three. Bang! A 20-3 Cardinals run to end the first, but here comes Pittsburgh. Adelie Gobert will poke it free. Sophia Hurtich gets the steal and takes the other way for the easy fast break lay-in, but Webb City picks up the road win, 71-35, the final. The Cardinals boys squad looking to make it a sweep of Pittsburgh. Early first quarter, Dragons force a turnover. Danny Durden with the steal, getting it to Kaden Navaratnam, who gets to the rim, count the bucket, and a foul. Pitt leads early. But the Cardinals would find their rhythm. It's Trey Turner breaking free from a trap, driving the lane, kicking it to Jackson Adams in the corner, who buries the three, forcing a Dragons timeout. Later in the first, it's Hudson Matheson going to work for Webb. Stop and pop from the elbow, nothing but net to extend the lead. Cardinals sweep Pittsburgh, winning 67-44. While the Chiefs' Sunday night performance is one that many want to forget, there are some positive takeaways, including one on the offensive line. Entering the matchup against Houston, the Kansas City O-line was banged up, with three starters unable to play, leaving Wanye Morris to start at left tackle. But he got hurt on the first play of the game. This left free agent signee, undrafted, rookie Esa Pole to step in and play the position against one of the premier pass rushing attacks in the league. And in his first regular season action in the NFL, Pole stepped up. In 42 pass rushing snaps, he surrendered 0 sacks and only 3 pressures.
He's the one that probably didn't practice much in there. Limited time, and he stepped up and was asked to play a crucial position at a crucial time, and I thought he did a respectable job. Now, it wasn't perfect, but it was good.
Not where you want to be, but I thought Esa played his tail off for being a guy that had to kind of get activated and be on the roster and go up against one of the best pass rushes in the league, and thought he did a great job giving me time to throw the ball down the field in big situations.
With Josh Simmons out for at least the next 3 games and Morris now done for the season, Pole could be in line for more opportunities going forward. The Pitt State men's basketball team is on a roll with 3 consecutive wins. And after defeating Central Oklahoma and Rogers State to open conference play last week, one Gorilla earned weekly honors. Freshman guard Landon Short has received the MIAA Player of the Week award following a career games this past week. Short posted career-best scoring outputs, dropping 22 points against the Broncos and 25 against the Hillcats. He finished averaging the week with 23.5 points per game, shooting 16 of 31 from the floor, including 11 for 22 from three-point range. Landon Short isn't the only one to receive recognition, as Labette County football coach Bradley Argabright has been named the Sports in Kansas Class 4A Coach of the Year. And this honor is well-deserved. In his first year as Grizzlies head coach, Argabright led Labette County to their best record in over 20 years, finishing 9-3 and to their first ever state semifinals appearance. More history was made this year as the Grizzlies beat Pittsburgh High for the first time ever as well. Even more impressive, Labette County did all of this without All-State running back Jamal Jackson. Argabright also serves as the varsity basketball coach, and he was coaching practices in the morning before school, prior to football after school. What a year for Coach Argabright and the Grizzlies. Quite the busy man. Definitely some deserved honors, what he's been able to do.
Yeah, that's quite impressive.
Very busy man. He not only coaches those 2 sports, but he's also the track coach as well.
Oh, definitely keeps busy.
Oh, he's probably one of the busiest coaches and teachers definitely in our area.
All right. It's nice that he's getting the recognition he deserves now.
Definitely.
All right. Thanks, Ryan. We're back with more news after this. With plenty of sports games taking place throughout the ongoing holiday season, sports management experts discuss the psychology behind how fans behave when their teams win and lose, and how their favorite team's performance can impact their willingness to buy or avoid purchasing merchandise. It's something leagues and businesses may be keen to hear as shoppers keep hunting for gifts. Fox News' Ted Linder takes a closer look.
From football to basketball and hockey, there's plenty of games this time of year that fans don't want to miss. And while there can only be one winner, sports management experts like Dr. Jonathan Jensen of Texas A&M University say a team's performance can have a wide range of impacts on fans, affecting their moods and even their purchasing decisions.
There's actually psychological theories and paradigms that have been developed over the past 50 years to actually explain the results of how fans behave.
For starters, when your favorite team wins,
you're more likely to take on the persona of that team and think of the success of that team as your own.
Dr. Jensen says a team's wins can even influence clothing choices and possibly get you to spend.
It's actually a psychological mechanism within your brain that's going to cause you to clothe yourself in the success of the team and then signal to other fans, hey, I'm one of you, I'm part of the in-group. And that will obviously have an economic impact because then the fans are more likely to buy more licensed apparel.
But when your team is losing,
you may actually be apt to distance yourself from the team, where you're actually protecting your ego and your self-esteem.
Meanwhile, teams going through rough seasons can still see strong merchandise sales.
The reason why you wear apparel then of that losing team is you're using it as a badge of honor and you're showing other fans, hey, I'm a diehard, I stick with my team no matter what.
Ted Linder, Fox News.
Missouri Southern State University held a ribbon cutting and check presentation celebrating 6 renovated outdoor courts this afternoon. Along with the refurbishment, facility now features full lighting and ADA accessible entrances.
The fencing was coming down. The courts had a lot of cracks and were in disrepair, and they were still usable, but they weren't very inviting or welcoming. And so I really wanted to make it a better space for not just the campus community, but the community at large to play tennis.
The $55,000 project was funded by the U.S. Tennis Association. Up next, chart-topping comebacks and mind-bending new series highlight today's Hollywood Nation. Mariah Carey returns to #1 for the holidays, and Simu Liu faces a mind-bending threat. Fox's Ashley Dvorkin has all the latest in today's Hollywood Nation.
You're telling me it's real?
Liu battles a brain hack, Carell navigates college drama, and Carey dominates the holidays in the Hollywood Nation. Mariah Carey is reclaiming her holiday crown once again. Her classic All I Want for Christmas Is You has returned to #1 on the Billboard Hot 100, jumping 4 spots to notch a record-tying 19th total week at the top. That means the song has now spent 19 weeks at #1 across all the years it has recharted, matching the longest run in Hot 100 history, tied with Lil Nas X's Old Town Road and Shaboozey's A Bar Song. It also marks the 7th holiday season the song has hit #1, further cementing Carey as the reigning queen of the Christmas charts. Steve Carell heads back to school. HBO announced his new comedy series Rooster will debut in March 2026 and released first look images. Carell executive produces and stars as an author whose relationship with his daughter gets complicated when college life unexpectedly brings them back together.
We can either attempt to remove what's in your brain, or we keep the hack open.
Simu Liu steps into a high-tech nightmare in today's first looks. Peacock dropped the trailer for the Copenhagen test, with Liu playing an intelligence agent framed as a traitor after a mysterious device is implanted in his brain. Forced to pretend he doesn't know he's being monitored, he teams up with a woman who may or may not be an ally as he hunts the people controlling him. The series premieres December 27th.
Are you in?
In Hollywood, Ashley Dvorkin, Fox News.
And that's our time for tonight. Thank you for joining us. We're going to leave you with video of two-toed sloth making its home at the Shed Aquarium in Chicago. Have a great night and an even better tomorrow.